And we are recording. What's going on, guys? Jordan and Ashley here. Today on this training, I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about what Typeform is and kind of the advantages to using it and how it's been able to help us automate our business and just make life way easier. So I'm just going to do a quick screen share and show you guys what we got going on. There we go. I'm going to move this guy. Actually, I'll just make that a little bit smaller. Cool. Okay. So this is Typeform. Basically what Typeform is it's like a survey or like a questionnaire. You can actually do quite a few different things with it, but what we use it for and how it helps us out is, in the beginning when people are commenting on your ads and they're wanting to know what's going on and we're manually sending them all the information. Well, this is a great way to automate that whole process. So you can ask like a ton of different questions without having to manually send all of the questions. So Typeform is actually, there's a couple different versions of it. There's a free version. And I think with the free version, you get up to 10 free questions. And then after that, if you want any more, you have to pay for it. And of course, there's upsells and stuff like that. We all know it's marketing, right? But so we have the paid version. And we love it. We use it every day. So I'll just show you guys kind of what we got going on the inside.
Jordan, do you remember roughly about how much it costs?
Yeah, I think it's like $30 a month or something, American, right? But I mean, ManyChat, being $10 a month, Typeform being $30 a month, any way to automate your business. I know like we all get a little bit hung up about prices of things, but I'm telling you, it doesn't matter what it costs, like for us anyways, because $30 a month to have all of these answers for us without actually having to manually put the questions out there it's been worth way over $30 a month. Let's just put it that way. So yeah. So the first thing you're going to do is create an account, and then you're going to come in here and I have to move this down, and you're going to click new Typeform, and you're just going to start from scratch down here. And then it's going to take you over to this page right here. Now you can name your Typeform, which you'll want to, because if you don't name it, then this is what it's going to say. Like when people open up your Typeform, it's just going to say new Typeform. So you name it whatever you want. I think Ashley's is Freedom with Ashley. Mine's Cloud9 Freedom. You guys can name that whatever you want. And then this little lock button over here is for your page to go public, which you obviously want because you want people to be able to open it up and fill out your questionnaire, right? So you want to make sure that it is public and this little lock is unlocked. So you're going to start by going over here and how you set these questions up. They're called blocks. So you're going to add a block, and your first screen is going to be a welcome screen, right? And then these are all of the different options for different questions that you can ask and kind of lay out in your Typeform. Right from multiple choice questions to short text, long text, different statements, which I've never used, yes or no answers, if you want to get their email, like a rating system.
We've just used the simplest form.
Yeah, which we're going to show you guys exactly how to use. Okay, so welcome screen. Now you can customize and tailor these however which way you want to. And it's pretty easy once you get started and once you kind of get it figured out. But your first thing is going to be, if you want to add an image, I think it's a really great touch. People get to see you again, from your ad, whether it's a story ad or a video that you're running. It's a great way for them just to kind of see your face again. So you can go into here and you can click one of these amazing pictures that they have. It's all actually free images from Unsplash, I think it's called. And so they're like super high resolution, high quality pictures that you can use.
You have to be careful sometimes with using pictures off the internet because some of them are copyrighted. So these are all images that aren't owned by anybody and you can use without having to worry about things.
So you can use any of these or you can upload your own picture. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to put in a backdrop. So we're going to use this picture of me. So then as soon as they open up your Typeform, they're going to see me, right? Or they're going to see you. And then once you do that, if you want to make it really, nice and colorful and kind of fun to go through. So you can actually customize this. If you just go over to design, you can come over here, go to customize, and then go into background image. We're going to go back over here, and this is what's going to show up kind of in behind my picture. So we'll just use this one here. Oh, I can't see. There it is right there. So now that should just pull up. Oh, what's going on here?
Try double clicking it. Yeah.
Okay, there it goes. Cool. So they're going to see this. What I find really pops out is if you use like dark images like this, and then you just use like white for all of your buttons and all of your questions and all of your answers. It just makes it really pop out. So that's what I do, is I come over into these, and you can make them whatever color you want and play around with this. You're not going to break it. So feel free to come in here, and you can change the brightness of your background, kind of like that. Cool. So now when they open up your Typeform, this is the first thing that they're going to see. And they're going to hit start. And you can actually customize this too, just by going over to where it says buttons. Oh, sorry, we have to go back to the block. So we're going to save this. We're going to go back to the block. And then we're going to edit this block. There we go. So now you can, if you wanted to write like begin or something, you could do that. And then you could even write like a little description below that. Just come up here and hit description. And then you can type in your welcome message here, and then whatever you want below that. So like whatever you write here is just going to show up kind of like as like a little message above that button.
And we'll show you examples of the ones that we already have set up.
Yeah. So then the next thing we're going to do is add another block. So biggest thing is you want to know these people's names, right? Because they're commenting on your ad, and you're going to get email notifications when people fill out your Typeforms. And if you don't know their names, it's going to make it pretty hard to go find these people in your messenger. So your first question, what is your first name? And then they'll type their answer right here. They'll go okay. And now what you really want to do, and don't forget to do this, is a pretty important step, is go over here and click required. This means that they can actually submit the Typeform without answering all of the questions that you have laid out. So anytime you put a question there, make sure you come up and you put required right here. So that'll be your first one. Okay, and then you want to come back and add another question. We're going to go short text again, and we're going to ask them what their last name is. So now we know their first name, their last name, and we can easily find them in Messenger. It's right there. Then we're going to click required. Come back, we're going to add another block. Now you can have fun with all of this. Like, it's really easy to use. I'm just going to find another one. Like, you can go multiple choice.
Yeah.
Okay, so here, go ahead.
I'm sorry. The next one that we normally ask is where these people are from. So that's a really good multiple choice one, because I know for me, I put Canada, United States, Australia, or New Zealand. And so it's just comes up as a drop-down menu for them, and then they just pick wherever it is. It looks really professional, and it's well done.
Yeah. So then they come in here and they just click whatever country that they're from. And then you can go up and, oh yeah, right. Required, and come up and add another block. So then for this question, we could go, it's another great question that we have. What does your perfect day look like? What does your perfect day look like? And then you could, like, let's say you could even add a little description below that and just be like, you can write, let's see here, description. You can say maybe be descriptive. Clearly, I'm not a very good speller. Okay. So that should be showing up. Oh, it's on this question here. No, see, that's not right.
To adding.
There. Does your perfect day look like? And then below it, you would add a description.
And see, that's right over here. You see it's a little bit faint. So this is like where somebody would write their response. So you can just get it.
Right. So
just do it on here. There you go.
There we go. So they're gonna spill their heart out here and tell you exactly what their perfect day looks like. They're gonna submit that. And yeah, so I mean, you're getting the idea, right? I mean, you can go, like I said, on the free one, you can go up to 10 questions, which is enough. You can get enough information about that person, I think, just off of the 10 questions that, you know, it's going to save you a ton of time, right? Even just getting that information. I'll give you guys an example. I'll show you what we have for ours, just to give you some example questions that we ask people. Loading. Okay, here we go. So this one is, look at Ashley's. Put Ashley under the microscope. So here's a picture of her. They're gonna click begin. We're gonna get their first name, last name, where do you live? So multiple choice question. What is going on in your life right now that has you interested in starting a business online? Be descriptive. And see, she has that required asterisk over here, so they have to answer these questions. What?
The required asterisk is there.
Yeah, right there. Loads over here too. Anyways, what best describes you? I've tried building an online business before. I've never tried building an online business before. So this is going to tell us a little bit about where they're at. Like if they ever ventured off into this space, or are they kind of like coming into this super green like most of us? What are you currently doing for work? I think this is a really important question to know, if they're working. These are great qualifying questions. Figure out what they're doing for work.
This question in particular, go up one to number 6. Jordan did a little bit differently because he targets a lot of people in construction and kind of that sort of demographic. So he did it as a drop down, like what were some?
It was just like some multiple choice questions. It was like it listed off probably like 10 different career choices. Like, there was construction, there was oil and gas, there was, computer technology or computer techs or surveying. I don't know. There was a bunch, and you can add as many as you want.
Yeah. So there's a couple different ways that you can approach that question.
Mm-hmm. How long have you been with that current company? Pretty important question to know, right? Just because you want to know, what their commitment level is like with employment, and, if they're going to be qualified to get started with this. I mean, usually we like to see employment with people, at least 3 months to 6 months. So I would say that's a pretty important question. How many hours are you working a week? Another really good question to know, are they working full time? Are they barely working? And right here where it says so blank, it's actually going to be their first name. And we'll show you how to do that. Actually, if we just come in here and look at that question. So it'll say so first name. So if we click on this, so when you're just going to exit that out. So we're going to add a variable here. And then you can just choose first name, right? And so it's going to take that first question where we ask their first name, and we're going to add, now it's just going to automatically put it in right here. So it'll say, so, John, what would your perfect day or what would your perfect life look like if you had total time, financial, and location freedom? And then see, she added a description below here and gave an example. What is the closest monthly income goal to support this lifestyle? They're going to select one of these.
So that's really good, because Jordan and I, what we do is we go through these type forms that people fill out, and you'll see my disclaimer at the very end. We don't respond to everybody. If they're qualified, then we will respond to them and follow up with either messaging or phone call or whatever the case is. So this is really good because when I jump on a phone call with someone, I have their type form pulled up. So if there are any objections, like things like, oh, I don't have time, or I don't know if I can do this, or whatever the case is, then you have their responses that they wrote down themselves from their heart. And so you can say, well, it says here that you're willing to put in 7 to 14 hours a week into your business. And it says that this is your monthly income goal. And like I said, this is an attainable goal. So it's really good for getting to know people, for qualifying them, and also for keeping people accountable to themselves. It's like, this is what you put. These are your words, not mine.
Exactly. Yeah. So if they start backpedaling, you could be like, well, I'm confused here because I'm just reading your question on, like what your perfect day looks like. And your perfect day looks like, you out with your family, out at the beach, traveling, not having to worry about, going back to a job because you can work, from anywhere in the world. And it's like, I'm just a little confused because, this is what this is. And I thought this is what you were looking for. Were you not? Or were you serious when you answered that question this way? So you can get kind of clever with that. And then as you go on, you can even ask these guys what they're earning currently. Very powerful question, right? Like, you want to know kind of exactly where they're at. So you can put in a multiple choice question here, add all of these if you want, or make this however which way you want. What is currently holding you back from achieving this type of life and income? And they're going to tell you, well, working too many hours or whatever, right? They're going to pour their hearts out on this. And we'll show you some of the results and some of the, different answers that we typically get up here a little bit later. It actually shows you percentages of what people are answering, which is really powerful because it kind of shows you the target that you're after, and kind of like, if it's a qualified target, or, the quality of leads, I guess, that you're bringing in, because it shows you percentages of each one of these buttons here pressed. How much time are you willing to invest per week into creating a digital income to make your dream life a reality? This is a pretty important question. Like, how committed are they? And how much are you willing to invest per week into creating a digital income to make your dream life into a reality? So this is really a good question too, because you're going to figure out, like, what is that dream lifestyle worth to them? How much are they willing to put, how much skin are they willing to put in the game? So it's another great question. And then, do you have a significant other that you'll be building a business with? Which is a really good question too, because if they click yes on this, then maybe if you're hopping on a call with that person, or maybe instead of hopping on a call, you want to do a video conference with that person and their spouse or partner, to get them on board too. And then again, down here, it'll say their first name. So first name, if I gave you the exact tools, roadmap, knowledge, and ongoing mentorship that myself and partners have used to achieve financial freedom with our digital businesses, would you be willing to take this business venture seriously and commit to your own success? And everybody usually types yes or clicks yes. So yeah, there you have it. There's our type form. That's the questions that everybody gets. Now, it's really cool because if you guys are using ManyChat, you should be, you can integrate this into your ManyChat. So now it's really seamless. It's all automated. You would just take this link right here, and this is the link that you'll share with your leads, your customers, right, or potential business partners, whatever. So if you're not using ManyChat, you could just copy this link here and say, hey, what's going on? Just before I get into this business, I would like to, learn a little bit more about you and kind of where you're at. So if you don't mind, or would you mind answering some questions just to help me better understand where you're at? And most people are going to say, yeah, sure, absolutely. Then you just, you would drop this link here in your messenger and give that to them. And now once they fill it out, it's going to come over to, you'll get a result, right? So Ashley's got 53 different responses from people. So we'll just take a look at this one here. And it tells you all the stats, right? Like average time to complete it, completion rates, which is kind of good information, because it's like if you're getting a lot of people, they're coming and visiting, but they're not actually completing this, maybe you have to reevaluate the questions that you're asking. So first name, last name, where do you live? So off of Ashley's targeting, we know that a lot of her people that are coming to her are from the US, like 94%. So pretty much all of them. And most people have never tried building an online business, 88%. How long have you been with your current company? This is kind of a weighted or evenly balanced between 0 to 6 months and 1 to 3 years. How many hours do you work a week? So this is telling us that most of them work in between 20 to 40 hours, but a pretty good percentage looks like they're full-time and more. So that's good. What is the closest monthly income goal to support this lifestyle? Most people need to be making about $3,000 to $5,000 to support the lifestyle that they want. And most people that are reaching out to Ashley are right in this income bracket right here. This is what they're earning currently. So this is really powerful stuff. You're learning. This is before we literally even reach out to this person manually and start talking to them. We're going through this and we're just checking it all out, seeing exactly where they're at. All of these questions you need to ask anyways. So why not automate this whole process?
And you can ask some, invasive questions and frame it in a different way, in a non-threatening way. It's still information that we need to know to see if people are qualified. But sometimes when you're talking to people manually, trying to get to know them, sometimes it's uncomfortable to bring up some of these questions, like how much are you making? Are you currently working? How much do you work? How many hours a week? Those are kind of invasive, like eyebrow raising questions to some people. So this is a really simple professional way. It's, and people, I haven't had any negative response from filling out this type form.
No. Over here, we're finding with Ashley's targeting that most people are only willing to invest $25 to $50 a week. So, we look at this information and it's like, people are only willing to invest $25 to $50 a week. Maybe we need to look at some retargeting, just because we prefer people to be up around these numbers here, typically, right? Because we all know, to get financed and everything, pretty well right between that $300 to $600 range is going to put people right here, right? So that's kind of what we're looking for. But most of Ashley's targets are right around here. So we're going to be writing up a new ad for Ashley and doing some retargeting. Or some new targeting, not retargeting, sorry. So yeah, these are all the different results. So, yeah, I don't know what else to.
I'd like to show them my last page. Can we see like my disclaimer?
Yeah, so we'll go down to the bottom here. Submit this, they're gonna submit it. Done, information was sent perfectly. Okay, so where's the disclaimer?
Well, that's not the last page that I made. That's weird. Can you go up to?
Oh, this is the one that we're making.
Okay, I'm like, what? It's
okay,
not
so
right.
we'll go back to our other type forms that we have.
That's definitely not what I said. Everything was submitted perfectly. Goodbye.
Okay, so we'll go down here.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Paige. Thank you very much for taking the time to answer all of these questions. I will review all your answers and reach out to you if we would be a good fit to work together. Have a wonderful day. So it's kind of indirectly saying that, if you're not qualified, if we're not going to be a good fit to work together, you might not hear back from me, kind of thing. But if we would be a good fit, then great, I'll reach out to you. So it kind of it informs people that it's like, if I don't feel from their answers that we would be a good fit to work together, then, very sorry, but it's maybe not going to work out. And I don't need to physically go and tell everybody that. I just answer the people that I see are qualified and that I would want to work with. So it's a great weaning out process, and it's a great time saver because unfortunately, not everybody is qualified, depending on what they're doing for work, what they're making, what they're willing to invest. And I mean, if people are making good money, but they're not willing to invest time and energy into building a business for themselves, then that's not someone that I would want to work with either. So you really do get to pick and choose who you want to work with, which is one of the beauties of this business that we do.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Another really cool thing you can do on this thank you page as well. I think it's the thank you page.
Yeah, like yours, you had the link.
Yeah.
Do you want to just go over to yours?
Well, I can show people here. So if you just added a button, so at the end of the thank you page, this is like a block. It'll say thank you page. So if you were to add a block, thank you page is an option, and then you can customize this how you want. And then when they click this button, say like you want to direct these guys to the Rise replay or something, or whatever. You could just write masterclass replay, right? And then so as soon as people are done filling out your questionnaire and you want to direct them somewhere else, you would add that button, and then you would redirect them to wherever you want. You would type in our Rise replay link here, or you could use the Lennon Stapes one, whatever you guys want to use, type that here. So as soon as the form is submitted, they go to this thank you page, they read Ashley's disclaimer, and they're going to see this button down here. And then that should take them, as long as you have this link in right, it should just take them right to whatever training you want them to go to. So yeah, that's how we do everything. We use Typeforms for everything, and we integrate it with ManyChat. I hope that makes sense. If you guys want to introduce it into your ManyChat, I don't know where you guys are at with that, but you could, like, this is how mine's set up. So the first thing that people see when they comment on my ad is an auto response. And once they respond to that auto response, they're going to see some typing. They're going to see this, me saying awesome. And then it's a movie, and it's actually just me talking about the questionnaire. It's me talking about, them filling out the questionnaire and the importance of them filling it out, because it helps me to understand a little bit better of where they're at, and also talks about how, I'm not at my phone constantly. So a great way to speed things up, so I don't have to ask them all these questions, is for them to just fill out the questionnaire. And I'm explaining all this in the video. And then I talk about how this whole, setup and this whole sequence here is all just a robot. And, as soon as I get back to my phone, I'll respond back to them. And so if they're like not interested, then that's okay, whatever. This is just going to send them to a workshop once they click this button here. But as you can see, most people are willing to answer the questions. So they're going to hit access questions. And as you guys know through the ManyChat training, how to add buttons and stuff like that and customize it to say whatever you want, you would just have that Typeform link that I was showing you guys earlier in here, right? So once they hit that button, when you set this up in ManyChat, it's going to give you some different options to choose. And one of them is to send to a website, right? So when they click this button, they're sent to the website, and the website is my Typeform. So that's how we do it. Hope that all makes sense. I'll just stop sharing for a little bit. Hope that all makes sense, guys. If you have any questions or something's not making sense, feel free to reach out to Ashley or I, and we can explain it a little bit more. So are we good?
I think we're good.
Okay. See you guys later.
Bye.